Tour Junkies.
What's up, y'all? TP and PP in the house tonight. It is the Tour Junkies podcast, and we are coming at you live from Pat Perry's Man Room. And we are having drinks, and we're ready to talk about the Players' Championship and betting the Players' Championship.
It's going to be an amazing week.
Freaking Brooks Koepka's 48-1. DJ's 40-1. We're together in person. Our parents' heads are falling off.
We might have weather issues this week.
We got weather issues.
This is going to be a fantastic week. And you know what? I'm starting it off by drinking a nice brew.
Pat, can you believe Brooks Koepka is 48-1? He's 48-1 on FanDuel right now. What do you think about that?
I don't like the number. I think it just make it 50. Just make it 50. I don't need to see 48.
It's still an even number.
Yeah, it's a good number. I do like the fact that it's an even number.
I am excited about the Players' Championship. It's going to be a phenomenal week. Just a bunch of fun. It's going to be a bunch of fun. I'm going to be there. It's going to be a great time.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that in a little bit. But let's go ahead and get into it. I want to just get our hands in there and get dirty right now. Let's look at the top of the betting board, Pat. Shall we? You want to hop on over there?
Yeah. Let's take a look here.
Up to 25-1. We're getting right in this thing. I see a few names here that are kind of tickling me right in my sweet spot early on.
Same here.
Early on, and the first one I'm going to give you. What do you think? What do you think about Mr. Colin Morikawa?
Have
you heard of him?
You're really close.
Have you heard of
saying
him?
That to me? I have heard of Mr. Morikawa, and I think that he is a fantastic play this week. Now,
hold on, I would like for everyone to count how many times Pat says "fantastic."
It's going to be a lot, and how many times?
There's at least one. At least one.
And how many times I take a sip of my beer?
No, just fantastic. I just want to hear fantastic.
Right, that's too much going on. All right, so listen here. Morikawa is, we all know how good of a golfer he is. He's a great ball striker, and that's what you need to be here at the Players' Championship.
Mm-hmm.
Got to be a great ball striker. They set this course up extremely difficult. I don't think that 16-1 number that I've seen on DraftKings on the sportsbook there is going to stay at that number for very long. Okay,
you don't. That's already pretty short. I mean, if it gets much shorter, he's going to be shorter than Jon Rahm. But Pat, Jon Rahm's the number one player in the world.
Well, I mean, why does it seem like everybody forgets about Colin Morikawa? Because he's won 2 majors.
He's kind of basic.
He's won more majors than Jon Rahm has.
Yeesh. He's just kind of basic. He's like Jordan. He's the new golden boy, right? He's Jordan Spieth. Yeah. Everybody loves him, but he's less whiny. So you can't really think of any reason to not like him.
I'm fine with basic.
He's boy next door.
Money in my wallet. I don't really care.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna start the betting card there at Morikawa at 16-1. Gonna go ahead and get on that. That's the longest number you can find on him right now on DraftKings. And it's attractive to me. You know what else is attractive to me? Starting my betting process at covers.com, Pat.
Yes.
Covers.com. And the podcast is presented to you by covers.com, where winning starts. If you like sports betting and you like winning and you need some sports betting content, you need to go to covers.com. That's where it starts. They've been doing it longer. They've been doing it over 25 years. A lot of you guys, you weren't even born 25 years ago. You know? 25 years ago, you weren't born.
Several.
I was barely prepubescent 25 years ago. And they've been doing it that long.
Mm-hmm.
And they serve over 20 million sports bettors annually. That's a lot of sports bettors. They have over 500,000 people in their public forums that are free you can get access to. And it's the only place you can go on the internet to find our head-to-head matchup and top 20 article for free. It's like a 5-minute read. Comes out every Tuesday afternoon. Presented to you by Covers. And we want to thank Covers for sponsoring this ridiculous podcast.
Yeah, I'm excited about Covers. I don't know why you keep getting so directly.
It's just something different.
Is it because I'm so we're doing this in person?
Yeah,
you need to be right.
I'm geared up about this.
I am too. I'm excited. We've had a nice dinner this evening and a few drinks, and so
yeah, we've had some drinks. I pulled on to Pat's Island gated community about.
They let you in.
Yep, about 5 hours ago.
Yeah,
and Pat started me off right with a nice liquor drink,
as you should as a host.
Yeah, and so then we had some good food. It's just going to be great. You know, now this week earlier, Pat, I dropped a video on the course preview talking about TPC Sawgrass. We're very familiar with TPC Sawgrass. Yeah. We both played it last year.
Oh, of course.
About the worst golf I've played in my freaking life.
Do you remember when we played there, like how hungover I was? But I felt like I played okay considering the evening before.
Yeah, I don't even remember that.
Well, I just remember like you got there and had breakfast, and I didn't eat. I missed the breakfast. And
Oh, I did have breakfast.
Yeah.
Anyway, we played the course. It's hard as crap. And I did the full course preview. If you want course preview, full course breakdown stuff, check that out. That video's up. But as we look at the betting board here, and you look at the history of the odds of the winners at this event, I think one thing that we do have to point out that I went kind of deep into on the course preview show, but this is only the third year now. I'm leaving out 2020. But this is only the third year now we're going to see this place played in recent history in March and not May. The move to March means overseeded fairways, overseeded rough. It's just a different golf course. It's going to play longer. And like Pat screamed in the first few seconds, weather is looking
pretty gnarly. I mean, we're going to get not only rain, and it's looking like thunderstorms, which that's bad this time of year. When you're getting thunderstorms this time of year, that means the weather's going to get really crazy.
Yeah.
And there's going to be some wind that's coming in and some cold weather. So we're going to get like Saturday's getting crazy. It looks like we're going to have 40-mile-per-hour gusts
Good
at
Lord.
least early on in the morning. And then later on, like on Sunday, it's getting down to the low 30s, which is a little bit unusual this time of year. I mean, not entirely that crazy.
Whoa, what? What did you just say?
The weather?
It's going to be in the 30s in Florida on Sunday?
30s on Sunday. Like if you're out there Sunday, like you're going to be, you might even need to wear some thermal underwear. Okay. Somebody needs to figure out how you get thermal underwear in Florida. And I don't think they sell it in Florida.
Yeah. They can't spell thermal in Florida.
No.
But it's going to play different. It's going to play different. And what this all means is that really everything from this point on in the show is pretty much worthless.
But we can give out some good.
Yeah, I mean, because it just doesn't matter. Like the weather's going to be bananas. Everything's going to be like, this tournament has already produced a lot of high variance. I can't remember the exact number, but I put it in the video. I think last year, something like, I don't know, there was like 2 guys in the top 10 highest DraftKings point scorers last year were at 9K or above. Everything else was like lower than that. So with longer odds, guys,
yeah,
you just have so much variance out here. There's so much trouble. Pete Dye gives you such a headache out here. There's OB, there's water in play on like almost every hole. It's just brutal, and we see it every year. So
that said, the Nut Hut is a valuable place, as you know.
Oh yeah.
I think I read today. I was skimming through the Nut Hut on Mondays. I don't spend a ton of time in the Nut Hut trying to do some research. I'm trying to get my picks down. A lot's going on in the Nut Hut though on Mondays, and a lot of the research is going down in the Nut Hut. People are throwing out things that they're seeing, which I think is really interesting. Some trends that they're seeing. I think somebody posted the $200 single entry lineup from last year. And it was very chalky, very chalky.
Really?
So
well,
yeah.
But we're getting into the DFS show.
But I know, I'm just saying, it's just interesting that you do see some of the chalk hit in this tournament. But yeah, we can get some long nuts.
It's a lot of variance here, and when you're betting here, we have seen since they moved it back to March in 2019, 2021, we've seen big time winners, right? You're looking for a creamy winner. Cream rises to the top is what they say. Yeah. That's what they say. Yeah. Last year, Justin Thomas was the creamy bad boy. He rose to the top. He beat off He beat off.
He beat off. He what?
He held off. He held off Lee Westwood. He held off Lee Westwood. He won. You hit him at 20 to 1.
Yeah, I did
as well. And then in 2019, was it Rory? I can't remember. I think it was Rory.
2019, yeah.
Because 2020 was the year everything shut down.
Aaron Fleener won.
We were there, and the Chainsmokers concert, we were there for that.
Yeah.
And then 2019, Rory won. So, we've seen there's only been 2 triple-digit winners here in years past. Only 2. What is this?
There's your past champions, right?
Yeah, Rory at 16 under, JT at 14 under in 2021. So anyway, all that to say, we're probably going to be living in the shorter to mid-range numbers here. This is a stacked field. Creamy bad boys.
Yeah, I agree.
Trying to do.
I agree there.
But also, on top of Morikawa, a couple numbers jumped out to me when I was doing some early looking today. And the first one was Patrick Cantlay at 24-1 on FanDuel. And the second one was Scotty Scheffler at 25-1 on PointsBet, who I talked about last week on this show. And I said, if you're going to bet somebody at 16-1, a lot of people are talking about Hovland. I wanted Scheffler. There we go. What you got? What is this?
What is Pat?
Oh my God, we have the same.
What does Pat have written? Like it typed in, not written in. What does Pat have typed in?
I'm learning a lot of stuff about Pat's process.
Yeah,
because I've been here in person for this tonight. First of all, Pat has a cooler off camera that you probably cannot see, but he's got a cooler, which is, I mean, I would say is smart, is intelligent.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's easy access to the beer.
Yep. And yeah, I didn't know you typed that out. But yes,
some of it. See, I get lazy and then I write out the rest.
We have the same three people: Morikawa, Patrick Cantlay, Scotty Scheffler. There it is.
I do think Hovland, though, bears mentioning. I think Hovland impressed me a lot coming down the stretch on Sunday, and I think this is a little bit.
You must not have seen his bunker play or his chipping.
Well, he did make that one eagle on the what was that, Saturday, where Rory couldn't make birdie when I needed an under from him on PrizePicks, and then freaking Hovland goes in and just knocks it in out of the bunker and makes an eagle. But look, I think Hovland, the conditions last week were obviously very tough, and we're going to see that again this week with the weather, with the wind, with everything else, with the way they set this golf course up. So I think there's a lot of correlation between, and for me, that's a little bit of a narrative between the way it played last week and kind of getting set up for this week. And I think Hovland learned a lot, and I like him. He's at 20-1 still. Not a bad number there.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I would pour any units to be used on these shorter numbers on those three: Morikawa, Cantlay, and Scheffler. I think we're not going to get deep into like the course history conversation because again, I talked about it in the breakdown show, but I don't really. Nobody has like solid, consistent course history here. Anybody that has any decent course history also has like some missed cuts or some T54ths in there. They're all mixed in because of the variance of this event. So I just care a little bit about experience. I want them to have had a little bit of experience under their belt here, but that kind of stops there. At the end of the day, to me, Sawgrass is way more about you coming in here and you're in form and you're hitting the ball. Our good friend John Tillery used to say, when you hit it in the center, he used to say you hit it on the titties.
Mm-hmm.
And you need guys coming in here already titty hitting, because if they're not doing that, you can't go titty hunting here from the center of your club face. It has to be, you have to hit it right where the manufacturers want you to hit it. And if you're not walking up in this mug on Thursday morning and you're not doing that, Mr. Pete Dye is going to punch you in the mouth.
Yeah, I totally agree. You know what else? If we're talking about manufacturing and titty hitting,
which you shouldn't do, I would recommend against that.
I mean, if you're wanting a titty hit, you need to have some thick hair, okay?
Oh, dang. Okay. Hey, one of the things I wanted to see live and in person was Pat doing an ad read in person. I can't wait for that.
I mean, if you're wanting to get out there and put your best shot forward, you need some thick hair, okay? We don't need thinning hair, okay? When it comes to thinning hair, you no longer have to choose between natural remedies and those that work. There's a holistic solution for men that promotes both healthier hair and whole body wellness without drugs or prescriptions, okay? Did you know that there are 5 root causes of thinning hair, DB? Okay.
How many?
5.
Shit.
5 root causes. Nutrafol is the hair supplement that goes beyond genetics to target stress,
starting to see a little bit
hormones, nutrition, metabolism, and environmental factors that may be impacting your hair. Nutrafol is clinically shown to improve hair growth, thickness, and visible scalp coverage without compromise. 21 potent natural ingredients support sex drive, better sleep, and less stress too. All right? You got to go titty hunting. In a clinical study, men showed progressive improvement in hair growth and thickness after 3 and 6 months. Nutrafol is also trusted and recommended by more than 1,500 real doctors. Okay. You can grow thicker, healthier hair and support our show by going to Nutrafol.com and entering the promo code Tour Junkies to save $15 off your first month's subscription. This is their best offer, DB, anywhere, and it's only available to U.S. customers for a limited time, okay? Plus, hey, free shipping on every order. Get $15 off at Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com. Promo code Tour Junkies. Get you some of that Nutrafol thick hair.
Jeez,
Bang.
man. I mean, that was the cleanest, purest ad read you've ever had.
Had a few missteps, but I felt pretty good about it.
Yeah, but I mean, you didn't try to go off script there. I don't know what I don't know what the deal is. I guess when the boss is in town, you try to get on your best behavior, if you know what I mean.
Well, I mean, I did talk about some booby hunting.
Yeah. In terms of a stay away up here, Pat, in the shorter range.
Yeah.
Can we just all talk about Jon Rahm? Can we just all? Do you have him written down?
No, I don't. I have JT as my stay away.
Oh no, I would not stay away from JT. I don't mind JT.
You don't mind JT? A 10-1.
I mean, he's the same number as Rahm. I would take JT right now. I
I
just
feel
would.
like this could be a tournament for Rahm.
Do you guys remember, speaking of titty hunting, JT titty hunted his arse off the entire 4-day stretch last year? I put that in my notes from last year. I made notes last year. I said, JT ball striking was ungodly. Like, it was incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And Rahm just, what's he doing? Like, he just doesn't seem like he's all there. I don't know what's going on. The ball striking continues to be there. The putter is completely left. The around the green play is terrible.
Around the green is really what's been getting,
and that's going to be
Rahm.
an issue. You talked about the weather. Like, I mean, who do you trust right now in all the crap that's projected in the weather right now? Who do you trust more, JT or Jon Rahm?
I'll tell you, to be honest, I don't really trust either one of them, and that's why I would stay away. Like, I have JT listed down. I didn't think this would get into a JT versus Rahm conversation, because I really think you can stay away from both of them in a lot of these shorter odds guys.
Yeah.
At least as far as betting is concerned, it may be a little bit different on the DFS angle. But when you have a year like this, with what I'm seeing with the weather and everything else out there, I just don't want to even come close to betting any of these favorites. I really don't. I feel like it's going to be a little bit of a waste of money. But if I'm leaning one of them, I would probably say I would probably agree. I think this could be a Rahm year to win this.
You would agree? That's not what I'm saying. Were you listening? I'm not saying this is a Rahm year.
I mean, yeah, I would disagree. I think this is a Rahm year.
No, that's dumb.
Yeah.
I
got confused here.
That's just stupid. That's dumb.
Why is that dumb? Why is it dumb?
It's not a Rahm year. It's not happening.
How do you know? Wait, clip this, Sam. Clip it.
oh yeah, clip it when DV says the number one player in the world is not winning. All right, that's enough of that. I think the consensus is it's Morikawa, it's Patrick Cantlay, it's Scotty Scheffler. Those are the three best values on the board. Scotty's proven. We talked about it when he won at Waste Management. The lid is off. He did his deal, and now watch out, because my man has no holes in the boat. That's what I said last week when I was like comparing him against Hovland. Like, Scheffler has no holes in the boat. Hovland does. His chipping and putting can be really, really bad. Scheffler's can be a little off, but it's not really, really bad. But to me, the value there on Scheffler, the value on Cantlay, is just too good to pass up. And if you're going to go super short, I mean, I would rather have Morikawa over Rahm or JT at the 16-1 number. So that's the top end of the betting board. I do want to let folks know I will be there in person. I think we said that. I'll be there tomorrow, so Tuesday and Wednesday in person. I'm going to be wearing my Siwoo Kim t-shirt tomorrow. I will find him.
You have to find him. And
Siwoo, I will find you, Siwoo. I will find you. I will find Siwoo, and I will corner him, and I will pressure him. Maybe I should learn how to say in South Korean something. What should I say?
Well, don't say anything threatening. All right, learn how to say
I
it
won't
in a
do that.
non-threatening manner.
Maybe in the YouTube comments, put in the YouTube comments, what should I say to Siwoo when I see him first? I will find him. Also, what type of content would you like to get from me as I am on TPC the next couple of days? I'm probably going to be walking the course with some buddies, some caddies, some player friends of ours. It's going to be a good time. I'm going to get some intel for you folks. All that will be translated into the Nut Hut. I'll send that into the Nut Hut. you got to be a full-on Nut Hut member. If you're just a patron, if you're just out there, free tiptoeing around, getting a free something, you're not getting any of that. All right, I'm
No.
not doing that. I'm not whoring myself out for the patrons. Okay, you gotta pay up. You gotta get the $10 a month, $90 a year.
We love the patrons.
We
but
do,
you
but
need
we don't love you that much.
Yeah.
So I'll be doing that. So in the YouTube comments, what do you want me to get? What kind of intel you want me to get from the grounds of TPC, and what should I say to Siwoo the first time when I get him? Because I'm gonna get him. I promise you. I got Fleener working on it. Gino's working on it. They're gonna hook us up. We're gonna make sure we find Siwoo.
It's gonna be a beautiful moment too.
It will be a beautiful.
Well,
moment.
y'all like if y'all ran and hugged each other, that would be really cool.
You think I could get that on camera? I'll try.
I don't know if that could happen, but that would be cool.
I was supposed to have an accomplice.
I don't know
with me.
how touchy feely Siwoo is.
We'll put it to the test.
Yeah,
I don't care. I was supposed to have an accomplice with me on site, but I don't now, so that's done. So I have to figure it out. Also, we will have a DP World Tour show this week. Our boy Mark Hill will be putting out the DP World Tour. Last week was the Magical Kenya Open. One of my favorite moments already of 2022 is Pat going on and on about the name, and then all of a sudden going, "Do you like Magic?" That was great.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you.
And apparently that's been added to the betting wheel. So if we have a bet,
and I feel like I thought I heard it's in permanent marker.
Yeah, producer Sam accidentally wrote it in permanent marker.
Why would you do that, Sam? I don't think that was an accident. I think Sam did that on purpose.
It says do a magic trick. So if it lands on that, one of us has to learn a magic trick and do it.
Okay.
Which is kind of cool. All right, let's move on, Pat. Let's look at the mid-range here. Up to 75 to 1 on the betting board. Now, this is where your bread is butter.
Yeah,
if you're
this
a Tour
is
Junkies listener. Because look, man, we ain't.
Damn, man.
Shit. Are we still on? Okay. Look, we're not trying to. How did that even happen? We're not trying to give. If you're listening to people trying to give you, give you advice on these short guys, like, yeah, sure, man, pick one, okay. But you come to the Tour Junkies, we're here we're letting our nuts hang out a little bit. We're titty hitting and nut hanging.
Yeah,
that's what we're trying to do. So we're trying to make this thing work for you. You got Cam Smith up there, Berger's there. I mentioned Koepka, although he's got a better number somewhere else. Willie Z's up there. Jordan Spieth, 50 to 1. I want to talk about Jordan because he's one that's interesting. Interesting case study. Jordan Spieth is. I want to talk about Corey Connors in a little bit. Our boy Siwoo, who we just referenced. Billy Ho's up there. Anyway, kind of that up to 75 to 1 range. Pat, let's start with Jordan Spieth. Okay, so yes, he has a terrible record here.
It's awful.
We just said we don't care as long as he's got some reps, right? He's got some reps. He knows whatever. But Pat, if I just let's say I did this. Let's say, hey, they're playing a golf tournament. It's gonna. I'm not gonna tell you where they're playing it, but they're playing a golf tournament, and it's kind of like a major. And here's the weather forecast. Name me the top 3 players that come to your mind. Tell me Jordan Spieth would not be one of them.
I'd probably put him up there. Yeah, I'd probably put him up there in the top 5, maybe top 3. Because he's we've seen him win. Pretty much. Well, he has won every major, right? Except for the U.S. Open. Oh wait, he has won the U.S. Open too. On a
he won the one in Washington.
Yeah,
the one I played on.
He hasn't won the PGA.
I played on that one.
Yeah, that was a weird course.
What was the name of that course?
I always want to say Pumpkin Ridge, but it's not Pumpkin Ridge. It's something. Pumpkin Ridge is an actual course.
All right.
Anyway, I think Jordan Spieth is. I just when I look at him, I really don't want to bet him. I don't want to bet
him.
At
50 to 1. 50 to 1.
I just. What have we seen? Have we seen any? Like you even said yourself.
I'm firing that.
You said yourself a few minutes ago that you wanted some form coming into this.
Okay. Well, I mean, what do you want out of Jordan Spieth? All right. So runner-up at Pebble Beach. T26 at Riviera. I mean, yeah, he didn't play great at the Phoenix Open. He lost 3 strokes putting. That's weird. But I mean, his form has been okay. Like, look at some of the things he's done in the last year. Won the Valero.
Yeah.
That was like, that was like the signature. Hey, I'm back. Look at me. 3rd at the Masters, 30th at the PGA, runner-up Charles Schwab, 2nd at the U.S. Open, top 20 or 2nd at the Open, top 20 at the U.S. Open, runner-up at Pebble, and like I don't know, man. I think this is an interesting spot to catch a big number on a guy like Jordan Spieth.
Here's the thing, too, though. Um, when you look at a little bit of history on this course, and I do think experience
I don't want
matters,
to.
but I don't think you have to have the history because it's spotty, like you were talking about earlier. I mean, everybody has spotty history here. I mean, you look at like Rory with a missed cut in 2018, wins in 2019, misses the cut in 2021. Um, a guy like JT, a T3 back in 2016, T75, T11, T35, then a win. That's actually pretty good. That's probably top course history for what we typically see here. But Jordan has never really, at least in the last 5 years, shown that he can really do much on this course. I mean, miscut in 2016, miscut in 2017, T41 in 2018, miscut in 2019, T48 in 2021. So, like one of the narratives that you see with the course history with a lot of these guys is, no, it's not great and it's not consistent, but his is even worse when it comes to consistency on this course. And that to me tells me a little bit about, like, does he just not feel comfortable playing this course? I
Why,
mean,
why would he not feel comfortable? I mean, he came out, finished fourth his first attempt. And then like the 2017 to 2018 years, or 2019 years, that's when he was like slumping. Like I kind of give him a pass on that. I just think that it's a different
but he was
year.
very good last year and he's still T48. I don't know.
You know,
This is, I mean, we've both been on the course. This is a course where I think you can get really frustrated because if you may hit some good shots that end up in some bad spots. I wonder about him and his frustration level on some of that. I could actually probably translate
yeah,
that
but
over to John Rahm.
yeah, but
So,
he plays fine at. I mean, the Open Championship, he's always played well at. There,
yeah,
you
but
can
I
have
think
some
it's a
tough draws
different.
there.
That's a different animal over the Open Championship. I think you go into that recognizing that can happen. I
You,
think you go into this
I mean, it's
course.
Monday, and we're looking at this forecast. If you're on site, if you're a player playing in the Players Championship, you're looking at this weather going,
I hear
all
you.
right, here we go. This is about to be the real deal. Our caddy friends are going to have a hell of a week.
I don't know. I don't. The number's fine. If you want to bet
50
Jordan
to
Spieth,
1.
50-1, fine. But I don't like it. I don't like it.
I get it. All right. I mean, I do think like when you look at the list of players here, it does start to sort of change where you want to go based on the weather and the weather situation. Like it makes you lean a little bit, maybe, less of Sam Burns, more Fitzpatrick or a Lowry, one of those guys. I like Fitzpatrick. He's been playing well. He plays well here. He's at 40 to 1 on DraftKings. That was the best number I could find on him. I mean, you're obviously looking for guys who avoid bogeys, who hit it out the center of the club face, who can get up and down, who are in, coming in obviously hot form. And I think Fitzpatrick's one that checks that box. I think Hideki at 31 to 1 on FanDuel is interesting. There's a lot of names in here. Obviously, Willie Z is going to be popular at 50 to 1. That seems like an interesting number for him. Have we really seen Willie Z get tested by the weather, by the conditions? Have we seen him
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe we have, and I'm forgetting.
I don't know if I can get on the Willie Z train this week. You mentioned those Shane Lowry, and if we go back to,
I knew that'd get your gooch there.
Yeah, I knew that was you.
Gooch.
You know me so well.
Yeah.
But I even like when you did that, I like put my hand.
Oh God. Okay. Slow down. I mean,
but look, Shane Lowry. I mean, you look at him from a ball striking standpoint, great approach. He's top 10 in the field in bogey avoidance. He's coming off of a very good tournament just a couple of weeks ago on a very hard course at the Honda Classic. Now, they didn't have near the weather that I think they're going to have this week. But one of the things about Shane Lowry is he actually has some decent course history. And by decent, this is what decent course history looks like for a guy in this field. T16 in 2016, miscut. T46, miscut. 8th place all alone in 2021. So Shane Lowry obviously is a guy that can play this course well, is in good form. Just really, he thought he should have won the tournament, which is kind of funny. is he thought the weather
he was a
caused him to
Karen.
lose the tournament a couple weeks ago. But I do like him, and I think you're getting him at 50-1 in most places. I feel like that's pretty good odds there. Yeah, a couple others that I think we need to mention. This, as you said, is the sweet spot for me. Okay, I like Xander Schauffele. Okay, I like him there at where is he right now? I haven't.
He ain't winning, I'll tell you that.
He's right there at 25-1, right in that number.
What? I thought we were in the mid range now, Pat. What are we doing?
That is the mid range.
Up to 75-1. We already covered the up to 25-1.
Okay, scratch Xander, forget about him, but he can win this tournament. How about Cam Smith at 34-1?
Nope.
Why don't you think Cam Smith can win?
I don't trust him off the tee. Too much trouble. I would much prefer him at Kapalua, where the fairways are 54 yards wide, and he can spray out all over the golf course, and then hit his greens and reg, and then make his putts and chip in and all that BS. You can't do that here. I'm out. In fact, let me look at. I think one interesting thing to look at is how they've performed on Pete Dye courses. And I was looking at.
You're really getting into the weeds when you just do that.
No, I'm not. I'm looking at Pete Dye rolling report. Pete Dye courses rolling report on Fantasy National. Love it. He's terrible. He's terrible recently. He's terrible long term. He struggles off the tee. I need wider fairways for Cam Smith. I like Cam Smith as a whole. I like picking him. I like playing him. I'm in, but I'm not doing it this week. I'll tell you a guy that I'm now a little bit interested in, and maybe he's got me all jazzed up, but you know who hit the ball like his old self last week, Pat? He hit it like his old self. Sometimes you act like you're somebody else.
You adapt to the situation.
You use the stranger.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then sometimes you come right back to it.
Mm-hmm.
And here you are, and you go, oh yeah, that's my guy. You know who did that last week? Corey Connors. He came back last week.
He's an adaptable person.
He came back and he shot. What'd he do? He did. I think he gained like 6 or 7 strokes ball striking. Let's look at it. Corey. Yep, T11 at the API. Nobody saw that one coming, huh? 3.7 strokes gained off the tee, 3.8 strokes gained approach, even gained strokes around the green, which he normally doesn't do. He sucked putting, but that's Corey Connors. And we've seen sucky putters win here. We've seen that happen. And Corey Connors, to me, just one week of flashing a little iron play gets me all lubed up for the Canadian in really difficult conditions. That's what I want. I want the guy. I don't care about his putter. I just hit some greens, man. Just hit some greens in reg. Don't hit it in the water. Don't hit it OB, and let's keep it moving. He's 70-1 on DraftKings. He's played well in big fields, tough conditions like the Masters. He does well every year. So I think Connors at 70-1 is worth a nibble.
I don't mind Connors.
What are you doing?
I don't know if I pressed the button by accident and all of a sudden
I will say this, Pat. You know what we need to talk about? We need to talk about the first ever Golby's Cup 2022.
Yes.
That's taking place September 23rd and 24th and maybe the 25th in Barnesville, Pennsylvania at Mountain.
We're adding an extra day?
Well, possibly.
Yeah. Okay.
Mountain Valley Golf Club in Barnesville, Pennsylvania. It's going to be a beautiful place. Mountain Valley's a beautiful golf course, 36-hole facility out there, great clubhouse. We're going to get to do whatever we want. Almost whatever we want. We can't do hard drugs. We're not going to do that. We're not.
Yeah, we don't need that to happen.
No mischievous activity there. And we can't tear up the golf course. Other than that, we're going. So now we are opening it up to the public. It for the last couple of weeks, it's been open to Nut Hut members only. Effective probably as you're listening to this, the link in the description, whether you're listening on podcast or watching on YouTube, the link in the description to the Golby's Cup 2022 is there. It's live. You can get on there and you can buy a ticket. You can buy a ticket for Friday and Saturday. You can buy a ticket for just Saturday. Friday is going to be the highlight event, I really think. And listen, the teams have started to come a little closer. I guess you've been doing some petitioning.
Yeah, I've done some petitioning. I've also just by a matter of people gravitating towards me
Okay.
like they typically do.
Well, you did have. I will say we need to formally announce. I think everyone knows.
Yes.
But we should formally announce that the winner of the team declaration video contest where we had you submit whose team you're loyal to, either DB or Pat. The winner is hands down Josh Kistler. So we will be paying for Josh's entry. He is Team Pat. He announced that through a video that he dropped in the Nut Hut that we will also be dropping on social media. And I've asked his permission, and he said it's okay. And Josh actually flicked himself in the wiener while wearing a thong and declaring himself Team Pat on a golf course. So that, if that gives you any indication as to, how the teams are going to look here, that Friday event is going to be pretty nasty. It's going to be a grudge match.
Needless to say, Kistler is an anchor for our team. He is one of our anchors.
He didn't look like an anchor to me. He didn't look like he would be an anchor player to me. Anyway, you're going to have a grudge match on Friday. It's going to be a Ryder Cup style event, Team DB versus Team Pat. We're going to be riding around as captains for that first 18 holes. The teams are going to be playing against each other. Then after that, the final will be determined in a 3-hole shootout between me and Pat, with everyone gathered around, music blaring, drinks flowing. And we will also be pulling members of our team into that competition for possibly alternate shot to go ahead and crown the first ever winner of Golby's Cup 2022. It's going to be beautiful. And then Saturday, if you can't make it to Friday, that's okay. You can buy a Saturday only ticket and play in the best scramble event you've ever played in. 4-man scrambles. If you don't have a team, that's fine. We'll put you with somebody. It'll be cool. Handicapped event. Pat and I will be playing in that one. Mountain Valley is going to be a beautiful golf course. Your food, so in the ticket price, your golf, your cart, your greens fees, all that stuff, your beer, your wine, and specialty Tour Junkies cocktails and a goodie bag are all included in the price of your ticket. And if you're thinking, hey, do I have to pay for somewhere to stay? Actually, we're allowing you to bring an RV or a camper on property, stay for free, or you can pitch a tent and you can sleep on the driving range. We're going to have people sleeping on the driving range. I've already seen that happening in the Nut Hut. People talking about sleeping on the range. That's possible. But also a few miles away from the golf course, just a few miles, we've blocked off some rooms at a hotel there. All that is in the is on the Eventbrite event that is linked in the description below. So it's super cheap. You just got to figure out how the hell to get to Barnesville, which is complicated. Okay, you do have to figure that out.
Yeah, I still don't even know where it is.
I don't either. I have no idea. I think you either fly into Allentown or Scranton is what I've heard.
Okay.
And I think Scranton and I think Dunder Mifflin. And I say we're flying there.
Where we got to fly in.
We're flying into there.
Well, you and I are not flying.
No, we're not. We're not.
We're gonna. Well, we have a kind of a surprise.
Also, I will say this: if you're in the South and you're like, man, how the hell am I going to get up there? Just buy a ticket, okay? Because once the tickets are gone, they're gone. Yeah. Buy a ticket, and we may be working on a little something in the background. No promises. I'm not making any promises. We may be working on a way to get people up there. So just get a ticket, go to the website, book them early, okay? Because we want to lock this up, all right? You can buy Friday and Saturday or Saturday only. Even if you want to bring somebody that doesn't play golf, or maybe you're somebody that doesn't play golf, you just want to come hang out and party, get a spectator ticket, all right? The tickets cover your meals, your beer, your wine, and your Tour Junkies cocktails, and your golf and whatever.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
It's fantastic.
All right, we really had to push that because that's exciting. I'm excited about that. All right, Pat, let's look at the bombs or the long range, I guess, up to 130 to 1. So over 75 to 1, up to 130 to 1. What are we doing here?
Well, let me tell you something.
Oh, Nita's coming just to party, I heard. I see that in the chat.
Yeah,
holla.
Good. There you go, Nita.
Nita's going to be riding with me.
No, she's not. No, she's
Yes,
not.
she is. All right, will you start off this range so I can pour a drink?
Yeah, go ahead and pour a drink. So I think I will say there's not a whole lot of guys in this range that I really like. But I'll give you a few that I think stand out for me a little bit. Well, ice melts when you just let it sit there. You put a drink in there and maybe it. Anyway, a few guys here that I like. Max Homa is 80 to 1.
No.
We have seen Max Homa play extremely well lately. Look at his look. By the way, he had a hole-in-one last week. For my model, actually, he is number 2 in my model. He is 11th in the field in ball striking, 20th in driving accuracy, top 20 in strokes gained approach. He's 14th in par 5 scoring. He's 16th in bogey avoidance. I mean, other than the scrambling and the putting, which are a little sus.
2 integral parts of the game.
Maybe not putting as much as scrambling. I think Max Homa there at 80-1 is a pretty good number. I saw that earlier this week or last week, actually last weekend. And I thought, man, I bet that's going to be shorter when it comes out. But you know what? It's not.
Yeah,
So
because nobody wants to do that.
I think Max Homa at 80-1 is a pretty good number. Another guy that I like here doesn't necessarily have the best history or anything like that, but I think it's a pretty good number. He's a seasoned veteran. We know the Aussies play extremely well in weather and wind and whatever else. Well, Mark Leishman, 80-1 also. I think that's another good number. He's a guy that won a tournament like last week at the Arnold Palmer, which is, we know, a course that's very difficult. Leishman at 80-1, I think is a pretty good number there. So what do you have here? Since you seem to be very convicted with your guys in this range.
I'm interested in Kokrak a little bit at 90-1. A little bit interested in him. But I think the best values in this range, that's on DraftKings. I think the best values on this range are 2 guys. Chris Kirk. How good is Chris Kirk playing right now?
And I have him. Actually, I have him in the DFS show, not here on this list.
And actually, how good are guys coached by Scott Hamilton playing right now? Because our buddy Scott Hamilton also coaches Tom Hoagie, who just pulled off a victory.
Mm-hmm.
He's got Chris Kirk striping it right now. Kirk is interesting at 100-1. Good. He's got a couple. I think he's got a decent finish or 2 at this golf course. Let's see. Obviously, the form coming in is red hot, which I care about more than almost anything. Yeah, I mean, he's made 4 straight cuts. Nothing crazy to speak of in terms of finishes. Finished 17th 4 years ago. But I mean, right now, 14th at the Phoenix, 7th at the Honda, 5th at API. I mean, he is just golfing his ball. In fact, he's never missed a cut here in 8 tries. That's hard to do. That's hard to do.
That is pretty hard to do on this course.
How are you going to fade Chris Kirk at 100-1? I
never said I was fading Chris Kirk.
Yes, you did.
I just didn't mention it.
No, I really like Chris Kirk. I think that's a lock. I could see people betting that. Man, I think that thing gets shorter before the week's over here. And the next one I like is a guy that I normally poo-poo on.
Oh no, I'm looking at your screen right now. There's no way you're
Don't cheat. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I'm doing it. I'm playing Alex Noren.
Oh,
I'm betting Alex Noren. He is 120-1 on FanDuel. He gained strokes in windy AF conditions, according to Fantasy National. Gained strokes in difficult conditions. 5th at the Honda, 6th at the Waste Management. Gained 5.5 strokes last week on approach at the Honda. Like, that's pretty good. His last 2 trips around TPC Sawgrass, he missed the cut. Whatever. I don't care. The form is good. Noren, it just feels like an interesting spot for Noren. I like him. I like the form. I'll go with it. So Kokrak, Kirk, and Noren for me. There's a lot of guys in this range I think are more top 20 bets, which we can get into at some point. But that's probably it for me. You want to look at bombs?
Yes.
Over 130-1. Now, there's some names in here that you look at and you go, ooh, I like that value. Like, you've been betting. We just bet Keith Mitchell like 3 weeks ago at 40-1.
Yes.
He's 160-1 here. But you do have to really make yourself think, can this guy lift the trophy at the Players' Championship? Can he hold off arguably the strongest field in golf coming down the stretch on Sunday? Can he hit a shot into 17 green that doesn't go in the water? Can he hit 2 shots on 18 green, especially the tee shot on 18 that won't snap hook left into the water? Like, can he do that? And can I bet him, can he actually win? And when you start to think about that, it does make it difficult to pick somebody here.
It's very tough to pick anybody in this range. I think there are a couple guys that though you could look at, and then really we could get into more top 20s. But here's one that I think is pretty interesting from a long odds standpoint, and I've seen him as high as 280-1.
Oh wow.
KH Lee. Look, KH Lee just won last year. He won last year in very difficult conditions, by the way. I think it was like there was terrible weather. They shut it down for a little while. There was delays and everything else.
Where was this?
Wherever he won. I can't remember. I think it was
He's been making cuts. I know that.
yeah. He's made 10 out of 11
He won at the Byron Nelson.
Byron Nelson. He's won 10 of 11 cuts this year. I think KH Lee, if you get him at like 280 to 1, why not? Why not?
I mean, I get it. I mean, I don't know. I think he's an interesting top 40, top 20 play.
Yeah.
The irons have been pretty bad, actually, but they're improving. If you look at the trend, since the irons went south at the Phoenix, he's improved every single week leading up to last week at the Arnold Palmer, where he only lost 1 shot with the irons, whereas previously 4 weeks ago he lost 5. So I don't know. Yeah, I think he's interesting. I got him written down. 280 to 1.
Another one real quick here. A guy who's won.
I mean, Siwoo won here at 400 to 1.
Again, the same thing.
400 to 1.
Yeah. And I'm not just saying same thing because he's Asian. I'm just saying same thing.
Whoa.
What?
You need to stop.
What?
Just be careful.
Okay. So I'm just saying it's the same situation.
He's electric. He's South Korean. We've heard KH Lee is also electric.
Yeah, I feel like
If I see him tomorrow, I will also talk to him.
Another guy that I think is he's won a few times on tour, Patton Kizzire.
What's going on with him? I can't figure him out.
He's not.
Also, yeah, I don't know. Is Kizzire a thing?
Yeah, I think Kazzire's a thing. Maybe is he the new Kiz? No, he's not. But look at his last few events: top 10 at the Phoenix Open at Waste Management, T61 at the Genesis, T32 last week. But Kizzire is a guy that I think is interesting on this course. And his odds are super long. So Kizzire would be another one though. Again, I'm not really landing in this zone a lot, but I'm just giving you some guys that I think could, and they have some win equity because they've won before, like Kizzire and like KH Lee. We know they've won on the PGA Tour.
Okay. I think Brian Harman at 150 to 1 is worth a look. Here's a guy, by the way, hope our nut up or shut up contestant is paying attention. Here's a guy who's had back-to-back top 10s at the Players Championship. He's popped a little form recently. And, if crap gets hairy in terms of the weather, Harman's not one of those guys that's going to get in a lot of trouble, right? He's like I'm Keith Mitchell, you're Brian Harman, right? Like off the tee.
Yeah.
I hit it a long way, but when I miss hit it, it goes effing everywhere. And you're Brian Harman, you just dink and dunk it down the thing. And if you miss hit it, then it's not going to go far enough off site to really cause a problem.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. So you're kind of Brian Harman, also known as Cockbite, referred to the Brendan Todd interview.
I don't know how that has anything to do with me.
Well, I'm just talking about in general your swing speed, your swing speed. But Cockbite Brian Harman is in play for me, 151 on DK. I like it. Can I interest you in a little Johnny Vegas?
Of course. You can always interest me in Johnny Vegas.
Johnny?
Like, how could I not be interested in Johnny Vegas?
You're telling me. Okay, well, let me see here. Johnny V. Let me. How about this? While you check your phone, I'll convince the listeners. He gained strokes in windy AF conditions, according to Fantasy National, which is wind conditions of 17 miles an hour or longer. And he's actually played the Players Championship rather well in 7 attempts, only 1 missed cut. Pat, 7 attempts, 1 missed cut. He's got a 3rd place finish in 2019, the first year it moved to March. He's got a top 10 again in 2012. I think Johnny V is very interesting at a big 340 to 1. I mean, just put down a little, just put a little something on there, just a little something. I think that's worth it. And Joel Damon, 340 to 1. Have you looked at Joel, Pat? I'm surprised you.
I didn't really look at Joel. I just, yeah, I don't know.
Why?
I mean, he's,
I mean, I'm going to talk to him tomorrow. I'll be talking to
yeah,
Joel, and but I'll tell you this: he likes him. He likes him some Pete Dye, and he also likes him some TPC Sawgrass. Now, last year he missed the cut, but he missed the cut losing 5.2 strokes on the greens. He gained 5 strokes tee to green, but he freaking gave it all away on the putting surfaces. Even that is an anomaly week for him on the greens. So I like him here. His first year out here, he played in 2019. We were with him in a practice round that year. Uh, he crushed it. He finished 12th. He gained 7 strokes tee to green. Joel's going to hit a lot of fairways here. He's going to hit a lot of greens in regulation, and I think the tougher the conditions, the nastier it gets, I think the better for him. So I like Joel. I mean, 340 to 1. FanDuel has some large numbers on a few guys.
yeah, they really
Very
do.
large. Okay, let's talk about some top. Actually, let's do this. Let's do our favorite plays. You ready for that?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Favorite plays. So out of all the ones we've named, what are the ones we think you need to hop on right now? Presented to you by Covers.com. Winning starts at Covers. That's where over 20 million bettors annually flock to Covers, and where you can find our exclusive head-to-head matchups and top 20s article is all on Covers.com. Winning starts at Covers.com. We're going to give you our favorite outright bets that we need to hop on right now. Let's go ahead. Let's not waste any time. Let's not wait for the weather to flesh out. These are good numbers, good values, full send, and some top 20s that we like here, Pat. Go ahead. Let her rip.
Sure. Well, I will start with Patrick Cantlay.
Love it.
At 24 to 1, 25 to 1, right in that range. I think it's just a fantastic number for him. I would jump on that right now. Don't let it get any shorter. You got to go with Patrick Cantlay.
By the way, how did it stay there after Bryson withdrew?
I was kind of surprised. I really didn't
What
think it would stay
are we
there.
going to talk about Bryson?
I-
Go ahead. Finish this.
I don't
Finish this.
Next number that I like a lot is Shane Lowry at 50 to 1, a guy coming off of a close near miss, almost win at the Honda Classic just a few weeks ago on a very difficult golf course. He's a guy that we've seen win an Open Championship in difficult conditions. I think Shane Lowry makes a lot of sense here at 50 to 1. I love that number there for him. And then if I'm going to throw out a bomb. I thought a bomb here. I like KH Lee. I think KH Lee at whatever long shot number you can get. He's anywhere from 180 to 1 to 250 to 1, whatever that is. A couple top 20s, though. Do you want those now?
Yeah.
You want those now?
Hit me with them.
Okay. I got a few here that I like. By the way, KH Lee top 20 is, I believe, 6 to 1 is a pretty good number there. I like Cameron Young. Cameron Young is plus 490 on a top 20. And this guy has been just top 20 and like crazy over his last 5, 6 events, whatever. Cam Young has been fantastic. I love that.
Fantastic counter.
Boom. Another one. A couple more. I got 2 more top 20s for you. Paul Casey, plus 500.
I like that.
I mean, just a top 10 last year here. And then Mark Leishman, plus 700. Okay.
Leishman disappointed me last week. I had a lot of him.
He's
last
such
week.
a solid player, though.
Yeah.
So there you go. Favorite plays that I love this week.
Casey, I tell you what, FanDuel has a lot of good numbers on some top 20s.
They really do. I feel like they're going to get a little bit shorter here.
Yeah, they're going to get if you can get some, multiple. You need to be on multiple books. You got to shop the numbers, right? FanDuel's got some really good ones. All right, I like that, Pat. I love the Cantlay play. That's for sure a lock. Working on down the board for me, a favorite is Matthew Fitzpatrick at 40 to 1. I've kind of grazed over him earlier tonight, but I love the way Cantlay's hitting it right. I mean, sorry, I also love the way Cantlay's hitting it, but I love the way Fitzpatrick's playing right now. He kind of seems like he's found a little something. Like he's a new man, dude. 6th at Pebble Beach. He comes out in 2022 and he's only finished 6th at Pebble, 10th at Phoenix, and 9th at the API. Like, dude, Daddy is coming out hot. 9th at the Players Championship here last year. 40 to 1 for Fitzpatrick. I think he's going to get talked up a little bit. I think with the weather conditions being what they are, he's going to get talked up a little bit. All the Euro guys kind of are. So I could see that number getting shorter. I think you jump on Fitzpatrick if you're a believer. I like the Corey Connors. I'm going to go deep with you because I had Cantlay written down, so I'm going to say Cantlay agreement with you there. getting deeper. Corey Connors at 70-1 is a favorite number for me. And I actually don't know that one's going to get any shorter. I don't think it's going to get any longer.
I don't think I think it's going to stay. He always stays right where he is.
He's going to stay the same because I think people are going to see, like, maybe they're going to see 1 week of, like, good ball striking. They're going to say, we'll see.
Yeah.
But, I mean, when you gain 7.5 strokes ball striking in, a week after you've, like, sucked for 4 or 5 in a row, and you're Corey Connors, who's perennially a great ball striker. And I just use the word perennially despite the amount of liquor I've had in my mouth.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that. That's good. I like Connors here. He's a good big game hunter, too. Like, he's played well in tough events. I think Chris Kirk at 100-1 is great value. I think Alex Noren.
I love it.
Noren at 120-1 is great value, and I think Joel Damon at 340-1 is great value. So I'm giving you bombs, even though I think, more than likely we're going to see this mid-range to shorter range win this thing.
Yeah.
But, we're going to try to hit something big here. We're not trying to just give you the easy ones.
No.
Top 20s, Damon at 7-1 on DraftKings. I like a guy we haven't talked about yet, but I like his top 20 number. I can't make myself bet him outright. Is Keegan Bradley.
I mean,
yeah,
I feel like that's about how I can.
That's what everybody says about Keegan. They go
Keegan.
Finished 11th at the API last week. Did doing his thing. He's also got a pretty solid record at the Players Championship. I mean, look at the last few years. 29th last year, 16th in 2019, 7th in 2018, plus 550 for Keegan. I like when he's coming in good form. I mentioned Brian Harmon. I like him at plus 450. And I like another guy I didn't mention, Russell Henley at plus 320.
Yeah.
I like him in a tough, like, grinder kind of setting, fairways and greens. There's arguably, he's arguably a top 10 ball striker on the PGA Tour over the last 12 months. So I like him at plus 320. And then I think Willie Z at 2-1 and Fitzpatrick at plus 185. Those are some other top 20 numbers for me. So there you go. Presented by Covers.com, our favorite early leans, top 20s, outrights, all that. Winning starts at Covers.com. Pat, now it's time for our PrizePicks plays of the week, which went 7-0 last week. 7-0. When you count, I'm sorry, wait a minute. No, sorry. We went 3-0 on the show.
Mm-hmm.
I gave 2, you gave 1. And your 1 was also on the FGS video. But you went 4-0, sir.
Yes, thank you.
4-0. Bravo.
Let me tell you something.
Gosh dang it.
And I went mostly with scoring.
Bro, you killed it
on Thursday, and it happened. But then it got lit the rest of the week, and the overs were hitting like crazy.
You killed it.
I think, actually. God, my headphones.
Yeah. See, Nicholas says PP smashing PP.
Yeah, that's right. I think it's going to be similar this week. Okay. So I think you're going to have some underplays that hit for strokes, as far as total strokes.
We need to look at the weather for this.
Yeah,
for round one on PrizePicks is up. That's what we're talking about here.
Round 1 is going to be a little more benign than the rest of the days. Okay.
Yeah.
Not as much wind. It's going to be a day they can score. I'm going to go with a guy here that I think is you may be surprised by this pick. We haven't even talked about this guy at all, but he's got 2 straight T5s. Do you know who I'm talking about?
2 straight T5s?
Yeah. Gary Woodland.
Oh, God. Didn't I say last week? I think I said this last week. I think maybe it was on the Mayo show. He asked me about Woodland, and I said, you know what? I never get him right. I think I'm out this week, which means you should probably play him.
Yeah, well, Gary Woodland finished T5 last week, and he finished T5 at the Honda.
He's gonna suck now,
and maybe he is, but I don't care about how he does the rest of the week as long as he has a good day on Thursday. He is currently set at 71.5 strokes. Okay, so I think he's going to hit the under there. I think he's going to at least have a 1 under par score on Thursday. The guy can hit. He hits par 5s.
Are you okay?
I lost my train of thought.
Are you okay? He hits par 5s. Yes, he does.
Yes, he does well on par 5s. And I like how the way he's been playing recently. So, 71. All I need is 1 under. All I need is 1 under par from Gary Woodland. I think I can get that on Thursday. Now, it may be different the rest of the week, but I like it.
So you're telling me, because we only asked Pat on the show to give us one play, because he's going to obviously drop the goods on PrizePicks for tomorrow night or Wednesday morning when the Fantasy Golf Sommelier video drops.
I know where you're going with this.
You're telling me that with your one play tonight of all the
I
offerings
love it.
PrizePicks,
I think Gary Woodland's is an easy pick.
Literally, PrizePicks has 50 new players in the field for you to pick from this week, and you give me Gary Woodland.
Yes,
That's asinine. That's,
no, it's not asinine. Look at some of the other numbers out there. They're not all that clear cut.
I can't do it. All right, I'm gonna give you two since I don't do the FGS video. I'm gonna give you two. My locks for PrizePicks on Thursday, round one. I'm torn a little bit here. I think I'm gonna go ahead and roll out Patrick Cantlay under 70.5. So I'm gonna say a 2-under round or better for Patrick Cantlay.
He tends to come out of the gates hot.
Yeah. I mean, he's just been on fire all year. So I think that one's pretty straightforward to me. The second one I'm going to give you is they've got these new bets where you can do by hole. And number 11 is an option. It's a par 5.
Yeah.
And
they typically like to do the par 5.
They like the par 5
or par 3.
And they set them all at 4.5.
Yeah,
which is interesting. On number 11, since the redesign and since the move to March in 2019 and 2021, 34% of the field has made a birdie or better. It's scored under par on that hole number 11. And I'm gonna go with, why not go with the hottest golfer right now on the planet, which is who? Who do you think's the hottest golfer right now?
The hottest golfer on the planet is Scotty Scheffler.
There you go. Scotty Scheffler under 4.5 on number 11 on Thursday. I love the birdie there.
That's
for
good. That's
Scotty.
good play.
Let's just sweat one hole, shall we?
Yeah.
Can we just do that? So yeah, that's the PrizePicks plays for me. Pat, you'll be dishing out some more. I will tell you this. Folks are loving PrizePicks. We've got the Road to Augusta contest that is wrapping up in a week from tonight. A week from tonight, we will be drawing a winner, and whoever comes out of that drawing will get to invite a guest, and the winner and the guest will get flown, all expenses paid, flown to Augusta, Georgia on Sunday. You'll stay in a hotel Sunday night for the Masters. On Monday, you'll wake up. You will get to meet me and Pat at Champions Retreat Golf Club, where they host the Augusta National Women's Amateur the week before the Masters. Mint place. I'm a member there. It's a beautiful place right now. Mint condition. You're going to play golf with me and Pat, you and your guest. We're going to party at Champions Retreat that evening. We're going to have a great time. Dinner, drinks. The driving range is going to be lit up. There's a DJ out there. We're going to be able to hit balls till your hands fall apart. And then on Tuesday, we're going to wake up. We're going to meet you at Augusta National, and you're going to walk the grounds of Augusta National for the Tuesday practice round with me and Pat, with some members from the PrizePicks team, all sponsored by PrizePicks. It's a fantastic contest. Road to Augusta. You need to get involved. If you've not already done that, the link is in the description, both in the audio and the video version here on YouTube. If you're a new user, you need to sign up using our code. Make sure you click the new user link. And if you've already established a PrizePicks account, you need to make sure you fill out the Google form that is in the existing user link below or in the description. You only have to do that one time. But we're going to draw live next week. I'm not sure how that's working. PrizePicks is supposed to figure that out. But we're drawing live next week. Yeah. So there'll be a winner. I'm excited about it. It's going to be great.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting, and it's just a fantastic trip. Got to get in. Do some PrizePicks. And PrizePicks is awesome.
PrizePicks is fun. Listen, we got to go. We got to dip. We got to refill. We got to reset. It's time for the DFS show. We're going to go hit the DraftKings show. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Thanks for watching. Please comment. What would you like me to say to Siwoo when I see him at the Players? And or what intel or insight would you like me to deliver to the Nut Hut from TPC Sawgrass, as I will be there Tuesday and Wednesday? Thanks for watching. Hit the thumbs up button if you've not done that. We got more people watching than we do have thumbs up. I don't like that. Watching live, we need to fix that. Hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe, comment, and let's have a great week. Bend over your bookie. See ya. Oh!
We're the Tour Junkies. We're the Tour Junkies. PGA Tour fanatics, golf addicts, podcast users. shoes, you gotta have it. Special guest, DFS, DB, and them long shot bets. From Augusta to Sawgrass, we got your picks, we got your stats. Catch a buzz, catch a laugh, sip some rosé with Pat. Do it, do it, do it.